ready to go? I'm Sean Ahearn. Among other things, I am a Zamboni driver at UNH for about 4 or 5 years, and I am 26 years old.
My name is Nick Gray. I've been driving the Zamboni for 7 years, roughly. I'm 28 years old.
When I was 12, my friends and I had all talked about wanting to be Zamboni drivers, me just from playing video games, but I was the only one who ever did it, so I see those guys. Yeah. You know, that was all I knew. I didn't play hockey, so I've been learning to skate until I came to college and started working here. This was my first time ever being in a hockey rink, was coming here, so I had never even been close to a Zamboni. I had driven similar other machinery, and that's kind of what got me interested in it when I did start working here.
Well, you can never be a master of the Zamboni arts. However, once it took me maybe a month and a half to be comfortable on my own on the machine and make decent ice. Some people pick it up rather quickly. As far as just making it go, it's really similar to a car. But when you add in all of your controls and water settings and blade settings, it can be kind of tough to pick up at first. But once you do it once and figure it out, it's like riding a bike. We have 3 full-time drivers, us 2 and our boss Griffin, and then we have I think 10 or 11 part-time drivers that are mostly students.
During games, we will take care of the driving unless a part-timer is put in a significant amount of time and we feel that we can trust them in a game situation. Usually it takes a few years before we're ready to let somebody loose out on the ice during a hockey game.
When we're getting ready for our men's hockey game here, initially we like to have, ideally, maybe 2 hours of open ice to get the ice ready for the game. We'll start out by taking an edger, which is basically like a lawnmower for ice, and running around the perimeter of the ice to get our corners and edges smoothed out so there's no bumps when they sling the puck around the board. Once we get that going, we'll scrape off any excess by hand and then get ready for our dry shave, which is, with the Zamboni, we drive around the entire ice with no water and just shave the ice down until we get it as smooth as we want it. From there, we will take out a second Zamboni and do our regular ice makes with water, full water, and just make it look like glass out there, really. That's the goal, I guess, to make it look as smooth as possible, get it hard enough, but not too hard so it chips out when you skate on it, but not soft where you try to stop and you just sink into the ice. I always like to, relate my Zamboni driving to, like, ice dancing. You really have to be synchronized with the other person to make sure things flow correctly. And every time I'm out there, the audience is my judge, and I just don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah, the audience thing, that can get in the way sometimes, but, you gotta wave to the kids. So keeping an eye on them, keeping an eye on the ice, and just generally making sure I don't hit anyone or anything, including my partner in crime out there. We've never crashed into each other.
That's true.
My very first night where they left me here by myself to run the Zamboni and put me on for a figure skating show, which pulled an audience of about 700 people back then, which is about the equivalent to a women's hockey game, and it was my first time being alone in the building at all, and at their intermission time, I went out to drive, and partially because of the crowd and partially because I was just new at it, I set the blade a little too much in and didn't know it until the snow tank overflowed back into my face, and I was pretty much getting covered in snow at an incredibly rapid rate, which really didn't look good with all the fans there. It doubled their intermission time from the standard 15 minutes to about a half hour because it took me a little while to get my nerves back and go back out and actually finish the ice. It was the most eventful thing that had happened to me at that point, and surprisingly, I haven't really duplicated it to this point.
I love this job. I'll always be thankful for getting it. However, it's just like any other job, more so here that you just feel like you're driving in circles, although it's more of an oval.